Perfect. And here we go. Amazing. And then I'll let everyone in that's in the waiting room.
Perfect.
You. Perfect. Hi, everyone. Happy Monday. Right. So we're so excited for this session, and we have our concealed alumni, Laura Kruckeberg, on the call. She'll be going over how you can master the luxury client experience and essential strategies for doing so. So we've been chatting over the last few weeks just to get really excited about this and talking through how you do things in your salon. So I'd love for you to share where you're from and a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, thank you so much. So excited to be here. So this is really exciting. So I'm from Edwardsville, Illinois. It's a little bit of a like college town, small town. And I have a salon like right on our main street called Blondie and Co. So we just officially rebranded. So we've been in the works of doing all of that. So that's been really exciting. So yeah, I'm in the Midwest.
And we're so excited to have you on and just talking through your process. Like you mentioned, you just went through a rebrand. And what does that look like for your team and your guests? So I think a great way to kick it off is talking about initial impressions. Can you describe how you create a luxury, welcoming first impression for your clients as they enter the salon?
Yes. So it has with the rebrand, it's been really fun and exciting for all of our guests and the new guests. So that and our staff too. I have 5 stylists. So we're also working on growing as well. But we've just been really loving like the rebrand and just doing, more than what was at, with the salon before. So what we do initially, so a few of us are extension certified and we're currently working on the rest of us doing it. Our big thing is, obviously people get extensions because they want to, feel the confidence and, have more hair and, length, fullness, all of that. But we're a lot more at our salon. We are very, just really focusing in on like scalp health and all of that as well, because that is very important. Anybody can do an install, but making sure that we are doing it well and how the shed is and how the client is if they're a good candidate for it. So we always with guests, new guests that come in, when we talk with them with the consults, we always want to just right off the bat explain to them like we're not going to put them in, do them today, but we just want to chat with them. Kind of like, when you're meeting someone for coffee for the first time, we do it as that more of like an personable, connection to see if you'll vibe well with them. Because, they're going to be in your chair for a long time. So you want to make sure you have guests that, are not only going to be fun and great for our and your vibe, but also, are they going to be a great guest to, take care of them as well?
Exactly. There's a lot of things that go into the consultation part of it. And one, there's that bit of a vibe check to make sure you fit within the salon, but also that you can receive this service.
Yes.
And it's a little hard to have to turn someone away, but it does happen at times, right?
Yes.
So what specific elements do you believe are crucial for setting the tone for a high-end service like getting extensions?
So whenever we have the consultations with our guests, it's, very important that we explain to them the process. And, we tell them we're like, yes, we're putting hair, on your head, but we also want to make sure that they understand that they also play a big part in it as well with, understanding maintenance. And, it's a high end service. I always say it's a low maintenance, but it's also a high maintenance service because you're not doing much with your hair once you have them in, because that's what's great about extensions, but you also have to take care of them. I myself have been wearing them for, I think, like 5 years now. And I mean, I've seen so much growth in my hair, and I've seen in a lot of my guests as well, that it's very important that our job is important to explain to them what you do and or what you need to do to take care of them and all like products and everything you need, as long as or as well as they at home are doing the same thing. So with it, we always are just staying connected with our guests. Communication is a big thing. So, even if they, are having issues or anything, that's going to be very important within the consult, within after their first move up. You always want to know like what's working, what's not working, because no two guests are the same. No head is
Exactly.
the same.
And like you said, like certain guests, they're willing to tell you, like, hey, I want to talk this through with you. And then others are like, do whatever, like it's fine. But
Yes.
it's also
Yes.
about making them comfortable in your chair.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. For sure.
And I think every salon or stylist has their own way of doing things. Like you tailor your service and have that personal touch attached. So,
Mhm.
how do you customize your salon service to meet the client expectation? So, walk us through what it looks like to come into the salon, get the consultation all the way through for your install.
So with just I myself and a few of the other girls, we're working on just like a good system. I have one down, but now it's more I'm training them of we are trying to stay the same, stay in unison whenever we have guests that come in that are new to the salon to get extensions. So what I always do first is, I talk with them and I ask them like, why do you want to get them? And,
Mhm.
they'll tell me, I want longer, thicker hair. I have some women who suffer from like postpartum, some that had health issues and they had hair loss and they're wanting to just gain their confidence back. Or some are like, well, my hair was short, now I want it long. So that's always like my big thing first. But then I go in and I look at their scalp. I look to see if they're even a good candidate for it.
Mhm.
We have, some guests that come in and they could have really thin hair, but their scalp may not do it. In their mind, they're thinking they want all this hair, all these rows, but that's not always what it needs to be. So I have some guests that they'll think, I want 2 rows, I want this. And it's like, okay, well, what's the end goal here? Are you wanting to wear them for, special occasion? Are you wanting to do this long term? Like,
Mhm.
you want your hair to help your hair grow, because they do help your hair grow, but also that's where the maintenance, your part and their part as well, drives in. But scalp health is a very big thing with making sure, like, will their hair hold it?
Mhm.
Do you need just 1 row for now? And then let's get to a certain length and then we can do 2. So we just love to be able to customize everything in our salon, because not every person is going to, I don't have a lot of guests. Not every guest I have has 2 rows, or, I mean, we all love a 1 row because it's a little bit, easier and not as long, but we also have those guests that they may just need a full row and then like a mini row. It really depends. So, and also, with their color ending goal too. I myself am a blonde. I have lots of blondes. They always want to come in and be like, I want your hair. And I'm like, okay, well, we have to get to a certain
Yes.
way to achieve that. So
You have to manage some expectations along the
yes.
way.
Very much so.
Can you give examples of how personalization plays a role in enhancing the client experience? So, what in your salon do you guys do? Is it like a signature drink when they come in? Do you have like a maintenance card that you send them home with? What builds that client trust and gets them back in your chair?
So a lot for I mean, we offer like the snacks and the drinks. We offer, the DoorDash. We do those little fun things just to have, you know, I feel like a lot of salons are doing it now, and they do like that because they are there for a good amount of time. Sometimes I'll say 3 to 5 hours. It just kind of depends. But a lot of it is we like to have fun with our clients. And although we're very like hairstylists, in the chair, it's all about them. That's the biggest thing that we want to do and that we do also do with our guests. It's more about them and we are just dived into them. And it's that's I feel like that's why they always come back, and they always say like I always have so much fun whenever I come in. And
Mhm.
I myself have 3 children, so I always have funny stories about my children, and they always want to know what's going on. So and and then I have guests that they have just fun things that go on in their lives. So I feel like every time we have a guest come in, it seems like it's more you're meeting with a friend for lunch or for coffee. So and that's just what we like. We like more humble and just very like comfortable and relaxing, just to kind of let your hair loose type of vibe. So
And as the salon owner, I feel like you set the tone for your team. So how do you ensure that your staff interacts with the clients in a way that aligns with your goal for your salon?
so a lot of the times with like I'll say for example, when I have a consultation come in and it's a new guest never been in, they're always looking around the room to see who else has extensions. And a lot of my girls, they do. One of them, she just took them out and chopped her hair because it's the thing right now, but she says she plans on putting them back in. But what we I always incorporate my girls into conversations when it comes to extensions, because then I could sit, obviously, they know I'm going to tell them all about it, but being able to get another person's view and opinion on it is helpful. Like they'll walk over and be like, "Oh, this is mine. I have one row in." And they're like, "Oh, I had no idea." And they're like, "Yeah, and they'll explain, their experience on it and what they feel like they can and can't do with them. And I feel like it helps kind of talk to them more and help them get a better idea of, yeah, this is a commitment, but you have people that are in this area that can, you know, be very similar to them, to their situations.
For sure. And what is the training or guidelines that you provide your team to maintain the standard? So most of them do wear extensions, so that's a nice selling point for the salon. Like I have one row, I have two, and your clients can get more comfortable knowing that the team that they're going to meet has what they're looking for. So that's great. But on the back end, how do you train your team when they come into your salon as a new artist?
So I actually had, whenever I first bought the salon, I was the only one doing extensions at the time. And I had 2 younger stylists that have been in the industry for under 5 years. And
Mhm.
we worked a lot together to just kind of get a feel. So I worked with them on days the salon was closed,
Mhm.
and we just kind of, they were interested in doing it, but if they were here, they tell you that I'm very like particular about things, because it's important. Like extensions are, they're a big deal, and
Right.
I don't want anything, bad to always happen, or anything like that. But I was with them and we trained on doll heads. We practiced for a long time to see if they really wanted to do it. And then once they were ready, then we got with you guys, which we were so excited about. So I wanted them to wait to get with concealed. And it's been good. We have little meetups throughout the week just to see like what's working, what's not working. Even when we do have some guests that are comfortable with having my girls come over, I do have them assist me
Mhm.
when they're not with a guest, and vice versa. So I feel like visual learning is very important, and I always want the girls to jump in and just see like, oh, okay, why are you doing it this way on her? And it's like, well, and I explain the process of, well, her head shape's a little different, and all of that. And so then we do like little mini powwows at the end of the day, and everything. So my one girl that is certified with concealed, she's building that clientele. She's getting it. So she's doing really good. And then we'll be having another one jumping in later on this year. So it's a work in progress, and we're getting there. But it's nice to be able to have that support together to
Mhm.
help each other out.
Exactly. And I feel like you set the intention. Like you do extensions and they want to follow how you lead. So that's a great way to interact with your team. It's also a great team building exercise to teach them something new or take them to learn something new.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it is. It's great. So, and we love the support that Kevin and May brings too.
Thank you. I love that. So let's talk a little bit about your post-visit experience and building loyalty with your clientele. What strategies do you put in place to extend the luxury service beyond the salon? So talking about what does maintenance look like? What do your follow-ups look like between that, what is it, like 7 to 8 weeks for a move up?
Yeah. So what I always do with a client is, I always look at the grow out. I look to see how things are. I ask them, how was it? Was anything bothering you? How were the corners? I feel like sometimes the corners are they're a big thing. And, it's great to have that no end bead, but I mean, they'll nick it or something. So you just kind of figure out, how was placement? Was it too high or too low? Like, were you able to, put your hair in a ponytail or things like that? But then we always at our salon, we custom color and we take the rows out, we inspect them, expect the wefts, because if again, it's an at-home maintenance if they are shampooing every day, and then you see some damage from them and all of that. We go through, we inspect them, and we wash and blow dry them to make sure they feel brand new as soon, whenever they get put back in. So that is a big thing for us, is it makes the appointment longer, but the thing is, like, we treat the hair as we would them as a client. So you're double booking yourself. You're treating your client, but you're also treating the hair that's a client too. So it's very important to, and they see that. They kind of get nervous sometimes. They're like, is the hair okay? And I'm like, yep, you're good. Like, no issues this time, but and I always check the scalp too. It was there irritation, or was anything placed, too tight, which, I mean, we always do that whenever we do the move ups, but it is very important to still check on that whenever,
Exactly.
whenever they come back, because you're only with them and then you don't see them for 7 to 8 weeks. And then, yeah, so it's very important to check those things.
Mhm. And in that in-between time, so they've just recently gotten an install. They're about 2 to 3 weeks into it. Do you guys do a follow-up just to make sure everything is comfortable or if they have any questions?
We do. So I do a lot with new guests. I have my receptionist girl send a message out, just seeing, how are things going? How are you liking, where your placement is? Just small little questions. You don't want to overwhelm them completely, but and then they'll be like, oh, things are great, or oh, I think this is a little high. So it's like, okay, we know, we put little notes in, we know to adjust next appointment. So it is great. I like to be able to communicate with them, a few weeks after, because then it shows, the guests that you care as well. Like, you're not just going and putting it in, installing their extensions and then, having
Here
them
for
leave. Yeah, yeah. So it's very important. I feel like just communication is just what I've learned the 4 years I've been doing this is a big, big thing for this service.
So since we're talking about maintenance, and do you offer a package or like products that you recommend that they use, or a particular brush or scrunchie for at-home care? What does that process look like before they leave the salon?
So we don't necessarily have packages. It's something that we've kind of have talked about a little bit. With the rebranding, we're kind of playing with some things, seeing if some things work. We do use Unite in our salon, and we always are like, oh, the 7-second line, that's your go-to, and that leave-in conditioning spray is always great, especially summertime. With summertime coming up, we're very big on, hey, and if you're going to be swimming, make sure you use a sunscreen, a mineral-based sunscreen. And, we always are trying to make sure through each season of the year what they're prepared for. But yeah, we always make sure they leave with the right products. We have brushes. Sometimes they're like, oh, I have this one at home that I prefer. That's fine. Just, we always educate them on, whenever you're brushing, make sure you like hold your, the top of your wefts and brush. So we will demonstrate what it's like to put it in a high ponytail and with a scrunchie before they walk out the door. So we do a lot of that their first initial appointment, and they seem to, like that, because then in that 2 week mark, I'll get a photo. I put it in a scrunchie, like it feels good, and it's like great, nothing's wrong, nothing's going on. So yeah, it's just more, we just do a lot more maintenance and just information. So we're playing around with packages. We're kind of trying to see what works, and it's really all, you're servicing these guests, and it's what do they want. We've had some give us some nice feedback, and so we're playing around. So hopefully maybe by fall things will be a little bit different.
Amazing. And it's nice to see that you've been doing it for 4 or 5 years. And then you're like, I want to shift some things around. I want to go through a rebrand just so I can keep it fresh, one for your team, but also for your clients.
Yes. Oh yeah, I'm always changing something, and they love it, which is great. So yeah, it's just important to just, we get bored easily, and it's, let's kind of change some stuff. What's working for a while, and then, what's not working. But that's what's great about it, is it's a very versatile service. So you can, just customize it in each way you want. So
And you can go the extra mile with it. Like, yes, we know extensions can be costly. So we want you to feel comfortable while you're in the salon, but
mhm.
also those 2 weeks after where this is something new, it's like it's foreign. So you really
Yeah.
want to be able to do it and for them to feel comfortable to send you those photos. Be like, look, I put my hair up. This is what it
Yep.
looks like. And they're excited to
Yep.
come back to you.
Yeah, absolutely. We did do a service
Mhm.
in February. We did a fun little event where we did like a Botox and blowouts type of event, but we had a lot of our extension guests come in, but it was more, we got to spend one-on-one time with them, like showing them how to curl their hair. Because they always want to know how do we curl our hair, and how can they get their hair to look like ours. So doing fun events like that is I mean, it's just like a bunch of girls hanging out, and then you have fun drinks and snacks, and they love it. So I always love those. I try to do like 4 a year. So we're planning on doing one this summer, something with trying to mix it up a little bit, kind of like how-to hairstyles, but we're gonna, see how things go. And yeah, we always have a really good turnout with it.
It's exciting. And I think it's just a low lift, but a high touch point. It's something
Yeah.
that they'll remember all the time and
Yeah.
be excited for since you do it multiple times a year.
Yeah, absolutely.
So before we go, what advice would you give someone that's interested in elevating their salon service or going through a rebrand?
So more for like the extension services, honestly, I would do a lot of just like educating yourself and doing a lot of research, and, finding I feel like Instagram is just a huge thing. And we find so many stylists, that are amazing on there. And I have found a lot of extension artists that I know that I could, feel comfortable talking to. And I've learned just so much from them. I have done more with this scalp health because of other stylists that have gotten more in depth with it. Like, I was learning how to do them, but I really wanted to know, like, what is the hair actually doing when it's in, and what can I do to elevate this to make myself stand out. So it makes it very important whenever you're explaining that to your guests, that, hey, I care about you, but I care about what's going in your head and how things are going to feel. That was, I would just say, like, just really educate yourself. Practice, practice, practice. I still practice on doll heads. It's so important, because what may work for one guest may not work for another. And it's always, really good to just keep that fresh and everything. And with rebranding, it's been a whirlwind, but it's been good. It's great. Find a lot of, I don't want to say ups and downs, more discoveries, I'm gonna say. And it's like, okay, yep, we need to change that. And one of these days I think, oh, everything will be set in stone. No, it changes every day. And that's all right. That is okay. I just am like, I take things day by day right now, and whatever comes our way, it's like we're gonna tackle it on. So yeah, just really, I mean, community is a big thing, and that's what you guys offer here, which is great. So I know that if I was having any, troubles or anything, I can always just, get on there and just reach out to someone. That's what's great about, the hair industry is being able to, you know, talk to people. That's we need each other. Absolutely.
And that's why we do these sessions too, like open it up and hear different perspectives. How you do it could inspire somebody else to rebrand or just shift things in their business. And I like that you said it's not good and bad, it's discovery. So you're
Mhm.
learning as you go.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Lynn, thank you so much for shouting us out. It's so great to have people on just to learn new things, connect.
Yeah.
As you said, community is such a big thing for us.
Yep, it definitely is.
And do you have any last tips or tricks that you'd like to share before we go?
Well, I was trying to think of something. I'm like, oh man, I feel like I said it all, really. But no, I mean, I would just say, just connect with people that see stylists that I don't connect with, but follow them and just think, oh, they're so great. Like, don't be afraid to reach out to them, because you'd be surprised that they have more in common with you than what you think. So, I just, yeah, just open that community up and just open your arms up just to, reach out, and you'll just learn so much.
For sure. Well, Laura, I want to thank you for jumping on your Monday and
Yes.
sharing your journey and how you've done it and what's worked, the journey through rebranding your salon and elevating your services to meet where your clients need you. And I hope everyone that's jumped on has enjoyed our session. If you're interested in hosting a covet session or have questions about this one, feel free to reach out to me at education@covetandmain.com, and we'd be happy to help.
Yeah. Thanks so much for everyone that tuned in. So thank you so much again. I appreciate it.
Anytime. Have a great day.